Alright. I can't, dude. See it. I felt that our cultural history could inform commercial everyday reality, and that was completely so along with many others, we've had a design commission in general trying to sort of push for that right through until the current era. And it's during the current era that the way the cultural canon has become entirely sort of integrated but now appropriated for the purposes of commercial companies, and that's where there's a dismay. And it then begins to become rather upsetting when we begin to realise that we are now selling out the culture for the purposes of marketing, and that's a damage. Principle, you're doing something that you believe in, that you love, and you care for, and that's an and if you lose that sense, you're giving them a work for petroleum. There was always the escape into the gallery or museum or public sector, hospital or school to work for. But you know, we've seen a situation over the last decade where all of those organisations and the public sector itself have done that. It's had to be business facing. A hospital has to be profitable. A school has to be profitable. Galleries and museums have to be profitable. So the strategies of marketing are just as likely or just as much prevalent in the garden as they are. There's an awful lot to learn in the 3 or 4 year period of design education. There's just as much to learn now as there was before, but then there's some more to learn. Business studies have come into design education, but mainly in the role of being able to support the individual, the self-employed person. So they study design in one way or another, and then they're very likely to work freelance, independent, part-time, and so they're needed to acquire some business skills in order just to sort of to operate. I think the business context in which design operates or lives, that is maybe the next level of education and information requirements. That is a constantly shifting relationship with a constantly shifting scenario. And it's very difficult in the academic system, which is predominantly outside of current business practice and too young to know that you care about, or even just to start to think what is important. Sometimes we see job notifications and professions which appear to be what we're interested in, but they might not fully reward what we care about. And I think that there's nothing worse than being faced with 20 or 30 or 40 years of your life caught up in something you don't really know about. I think that's the one thing that somebody starting out in any profession, but specifically the design profession, that they can begin to ask themselves that question. They might not come up with the answer, but just beginning to ask themselves, what is it that I actually
through high school. And that was, for me, that was me in the late 70s. The last straight job I had was 1981. Head manager of a Haagen-Dazs in Georgetown, Washington, D.C. on Wisconsin Avenue at the intersection of Wisconsin and O Street, making $3.75 an hour, $4 an hour, something like that. Working 40 to 60 hours a week. I had a small apartment which I shared with an old pal of mine. I had a small record collection, an ailing VW automobile, and a little tiny life with my minimum wage job, which I liked. And I looked at my life and realized this is probably about as good as it's going to get for me. I might quit this place and go work at my friend's record store because I like being around records that I could play